Look forward to getting back home, get in the rhythm, and hopefully get back on track.
Mika out jumps Jito Koch, and BYU controls the opening tip, and a quick whistle.
1958 and run at 33.
I don't think the shot clock started, so they'll take a second off the shot clock, and we will start at half court. I think they're going to take 2 seconds off the shot clock. And now we begin. First foul. Tyler Haws is down on the floor. And Brett Bailey's down on the floor. The foul goes against Bailey, a freshman out of Spokane, Washington.
And talking to Coach Greer before the game, they knew Tyler Haws is a threat, and they wanted to make sure they guard him on every play.
Eric Mika, nice entry pass from Collinsworth. And Mika, outstanding young freshman. This losing streak has been a growing experience for him as well. He's been harassed with foul trouble, as with Nate Austin. Struggled at the free throw line. He too happy to be home and get his first bucket 2 feet away from the hoop.
And great inbounds play. BYU always draws up those great inbounds plays. They want to score on those. And fortunate enough, Mika's able to get up the score.
Christopher Anderson kicked to the corner. Kramer for 3. And Dennis Kramer, senior out Ensenadas, hits his 6th three-pointer on the year.
Kramer earlier this year against New Mexico hit 3 or 4 crucial three-pointers in that game. He's your big man down low, but he's able to step out and hit big shots.
Haws answers right back. And Tyler with his first of the night. And BYU leads 5-3. 83rd start tonight for Tyler Haws in this BYU program. Johnny D for 3. That goes down. And now the Toreros by 1.
Both teams starting very hot from beyond the arc.
This is really a must-win for these two clubs. Halford. Nobody's missed. It's a red-hot start, and it's 7-6.
And great to see Skylar Halford getting involved early. We mentioned before the game that this is his first start here for BYU. I know that he's excited to get out there and play, and nice to see him starting get his first shot.
Christopher Anderson. This is Johnny D. Drives right past Halford. Left hand. Nate Austin on the rebound. Collinsworth off the glass. Dave Rose again telling us today the #1 thing he wants his guys to do is play hard. And play hard the entire game. Had lapses in that 4-game losing streak. He's got to be happy with this start.
Exactly. They felt these last few games they've lost, they were lacking energy, and sure enough, we see BYU come out and have just that.
Goaltending on Mika, and that'll give a bucket to Kramer, and he's got 5. And it's 9-8. More of a frustration swat there.
Eric Mika rotates over and gets it right after the rim.
Collinsworth double teamed. Halford matched up with D. Into Mika, spinning on Kramer, swatted by Koch. Out of bounds, it'll be BYU ball. Jito Koch had 55 blocks last year, led the league, and he's got 24 already this season, and you see how high up he can get.
He's got those leaps, and he ranks currently 4th in WCC in blocks. Adds another one to his stat sheet.
Haws steps inside the arc, drops a 2. He's got 5. And BYU's lead is 3. The Cougars still perfect from the field. Now 5 of 6. And off to a very good start. This is Bailey. Bailey top of the key. Shot clock's at 10. Christopher Anderson too strong. Cougars in transition. This is not what Bill Greer wants. Good defense knocked out of bounds. Brett Bailey knocks it out. It'll be Cougar basketball. Brady Industries has been a provider of commercial cleaning supplies and equipment throughout the western United States for 65 years. Brady Industries, clean solutions, a tradition for generations. Subs coming in for the Toreros, and Bill Greer telling us BYU, he believes, is still a top 5 team in transition offense. a half-court setting. He figures favors them as Mika gets another bucket. The Cougars lead by 5, but he does not want to see fast breaks for BYU's offense.
Exactly, and that's what the last few opponents that BYU has played in Loyola Marymount, along with Pepperdine, has been able to do. They've been able to limit BYU in their transition points. And he talked about that. He's like, he said we need to get our players back, make sure they don't get those easy buckets. So far, BYU has been able to capitalize.
Top of the key, first shot by Duda. Sadnadze off the bench. She's a bright spot for the Toreros. And he misses his first offering. He averages 12 a game. Started the first 14. Back into Mika with the left hand. And Mika now is 6. 3 for 3 from down low.
Eric Mika really want to come out here and play well. He only had 10 points last game, fouled out. Very disappointed with his play so far. He wanted to get back home and have a great game so far. Great start.
Anderson picked up by Collinsworth. Sadnadze puts up a desperation shot, and then Mika takes a step. Mika was surprised to end up with a loose ball and took a step, regrouping, and turns it back over. BYU on a 6-0 run. Eric Mika off to a solid start. 3 for 4 from the field and 6 points. And we've got timeout. BYU 15-8 over the Toreros here on BYU TV. Red hot shooting to begin. BYU is 7 of 8 from the field. 1 for 1 shooting the 3. Think back the last 2 games, David, they were 4 for 21 combined from the 3-point line. Johnny D on those same 2 floors was 10 of 16 for San Diego, and the Toreros lost both to LMU and Pepperdine as well, but they shot much better.
They really did, and you see BYU go with the man-to-man defense. Kind of a relief to BYU fans. We've seen BYU go with the zone defense majority of the season because of foul trouble, but BYU decides to go with the man-to-man, and you see Kyle Collinsworth really shutting down Johnny D and not allowing him to get the ball.
Anderson passes on the 3, kicks it back out to D. 7 on the shot clock. Off the front end, kept alive into the hands of Sadnadze. Simi Fajemison tipped it to Sadnadze, but it's a foul, and it'll go against San Diego. It'll go against Fajemison being a little aggressive. And that's his first.
Yeah, he comes right over the back. Austin has the ball and tries to poke it out, but draws the foul.
Fajemison hasn't seen a lot of time, but Bill Greer seeing what BYU's doing with Eric Mika down low. He's brought in as much size as he has to offer on that San Diego bench.
And that's exactly what he brings. He brings that strong physical post.
There's Mika going to work on him. Double teamed. Anderson reaches in, ties him up, and the possession arrow will favor San Diego. Let's check in with Spencer.
Guys, as good as BYU's offensive start has been, Dave Rose made it a point in the last huddle to say get hands in passing lanes, force them to make bad passes because they're content to run the shot clock down. He wants to hurry San Diego into bad shots and stay active and aggressive on the defensive side.
Kramer and Mika. Now this is Chris Sarba off the bench as well. Now for the Toreros. Nice fall-away shot by Sadnadze out of the Republic of Georgia, his first 2. Hard-nosed player, great attitude. Haas drives the lane. And Jemison on the rebound. The Toreros on the run. D has his shot swatted, but he's fouled before putting it up. And San Diego will have the ball under their basket. The foul's on Tyler Haas. That's his first.
Looks like they might have called the wrong number. Looks like Anson Winder was matched up on him. He reached in a little bit and drew the foul.
And I think Winder's saying, hey, look, that foul was on me, not on Haas. And they are going to correct it now. That's a heads-up play from Winder, making sure that the All-American on the floor does not have a foul that he didn't need.
Stays out of foul trouble. Anson says, hey, that one's on me. Don't worry about it.
Winder out of Las Vegas, looking to make a difference here with these early minutes tonight. Nearly 6 minutes gone. It's a 5-point BYU lead. Sarbaugh out of Spokane, Washington. One of the new additions for the Toreros. This is he with the ball, and they're working it into the corner. D draws some contact. He'll go to the line, and Mika stays down on his belly. Let's take another look as Eric Mika's up on his feet.
This is one of those scary plays where you leave your feet, not supposed to leave the feet, and unfortunately gets undercut, falls to the ground, and they're going to take another look at this one.
I'm not even sure why they're taking another look. They called the foul. Maybe there was, I think they're checking to see if it was a three-point shot. That would make sense for the crew to come over and check it out. For Mika, that'll be his first. We'll help them decide right here. Does he put the shot up behind the line? The contact is there. Contact's actually before the shot, but it is behind the line. So they may give him 3 free throws.
Yeah, they're looking to see where that right foot was. The left foot's clearly behind the line, but the right foot, I think, is the one in question right now.
Here's another look. It's hard to see where his feet are. You see Mika landing violently on that back. Mika, 230 pounds, colliding with the floor. Johnny D's going to have 2 or 3 free throws as the investigation continues. Both these teams started red hot on the season. BYU 7-2, USD 7-1. But both are tied for last place in the WCC.
Yeah, this is a crucial game for both teams. Both teams had high aspirations coming to the season. BYU in the preseason WCC poll came into second place, San Diego 5th. And like you said, both teams now find themselves at the bottom of the polls. But this is a big game. You know, 0-2, both teams looking to get back on track, get that crucial win. And so both teams competing hard here today.
3 free throws coming for Johnny D. Frank Bartley checks in for Eric Mika, who landed squarely on his back. D's a 90% free throw shooter. Like Tyler Haws, nearly automatic when these the top 2 scorers in the league go to the free throw line. Five points for D. Thomas Jacobs checks in, a junior out of San Diego. D gets all 3 of them. And we've got a whistle and a little conference at the scorers table. 15-13, BYU with the lead. Still haven't seen Matt Carlino. Skylar Halford started in his place, but we've seen Winder and Bartley off the bench before we've seen Carlino.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Of course, BYU will most likely put Matt Carlino in at some point. It'll be interesting to see how he responds. I know it's got to be tough for him coming off the bench and getting his starting position taken, but you know, he's got to come out of that slump, and you know, and the coach decided, look, we got to make a change here for the better of the team, and we should see how he responds.
The holdup was that Kramer could not come out, so he's back in the game, and Jacobs is waiting to check back in at the next dead ball. Winder, the Toreros sit back in a zone. They'll challenge BYU's outside shooting. Bad pass, stolen away by Kramer. Now Sanadze will set the offense. Everything goes through number 1. This is Johnny D. Sanadze for 3. Kept alive and pulled down by Austin. Haws open just enough on the baseline. Too strong. Austin fights for it. Knocks it out of bounds. And it'll be San Diego ball. Now with that whistle, Kramer will come out. Anderson returns. Jacobs back in the lineup. And Koch returns for San Diego. BYU with an 8-1 edge on the board. And Matt Carlino will check in. And Collinsworth will go out. So Carlino will come in and run the point.
Fans giving him a nice applause. Once again, it'll be interesting to see how he responds to this. Matt Carlino is a great player, and it's been interesting watching his development, but there's no question he struggled these last few games. In an interview earlier this week on BYU Sports Nation, he mentioned, look, I'm in a slump. My confidence is shaking a little bit, but I'm confident that I'll be able to work my way out of it, and it'll be interesting to see once again how he plays today.
Sarba up over Winder. And we're tied up at 15. Carlino went through this a little bit last season. Dave Rose sat him down and helped him regroup. And we'll see if this helps tonight. Austin. Now it's Bartley into the lane. Haws passes on the 3. Shot clock's at 20. 8 minutes gone here in the opening half, and it's been a spirited start. Austin goes high off the front end. Christopher Anderson, and in transition, it is Sanadze with an easy 2 and a 9-0 San Diego run, and the Toreros lead it 17-15. Dave Rose calls it timeout. The BYU Sports Report is brought to you tonight by Siegfried and Jensen. 4-game run for Carlino. Would love to see him bust out. Austin, we haven't seen Mika since he went out after landing hard on his back. Hawes with a fake and the 3.
Tyler Hawes with 7 points, 2-pointer. He was right inside the arc and nails it down. Great pump fake, gets the defender to move away from him.
Hawes with 7. Austin with another rebound. Carlino looking to push. Carlino needs one more 3-pointer to move ahead of Mike Smith, all-time at BYU in shooting the 3s. Nice drive to the basket. Bartley can't finish, and here come the Toreros. Mike Smith and Carlino currently tied at number 11 in BYU history with 116. Let's see if he can move past our good friend and fellow broadcaster Mike Smith with a long ball tonight. Game tied up at 17. Sanadze with the left hand. And a foul. It'll go against Sanadze. And that will be his first. 10:23 to go. We've got timeout here at the Marriott Center. Tyler Hawes leading the Cougars with 7 points here on BYU TV. Zions Direct, current insights and trends, providing some of the latest ideas in finance. Available in their weekly newsletter at zionsdirect.com. David?
And BYU has now scored off this inbounds play twice. You're going to see Nate Austin's going to come down, show a pick for Tyler Hawes. All the attention's on Tyler. And, of course, Mika comes in, is able to push off a little bit, was able to finish with the easy bucket.
And we haven't seen Eric Mika for some time, and he's just checked back into the game. He went out after landing on his back. Spencer Linton.
Yeah, Dave, Eric came off, shook it off, got a drink, winked at me and said he'd be all right. He actually said that he was proud of himself for not running his mouth and keeping his New Year's resolution.
Maybe he's growing up in front of our very eyes. Thank you, Spencer.
Spencer getting winks from the players these days.
That's concerning. Bartley short again. He's gotten to the basket on 2 consecutive drives, not able to finish. Knocked out of bounds off of San Diego. So it's Hawes, Halford back into the game, along with Bartley, Mika, and Carlino. Hawes from the free throw line. And a foul on the rebound. It'll go against San Diego's Gito Koch, and that's his first. They're out rebounded 8-1 to begin the game, and you get a sense that Bill Greer's told them to go in there and fight, and they've gotten caught battling for position. 11-5 now the rebounding edge for BYU. Bartley's out, and Josh Sharp checks in for the first time. Bartley, another freshman with a lot of promise. Mika battling down low with Jacobs. Ends it over to Hawes. Halford, a high arcing 3. 5 for Halford. I don't know if anyone shoots it higher in the country than Skylar Halford.
He's got a beautiful release and gets that ball up in the air, shooting 40% from the 3-point range. In junior college last year, he was an All-American. And one of his fortes was there shooting the 3.
Johnny D trying to answer back. Carlino and Halford battling for the ball. Last touched by BYU. And San Diego keeps it. Dennis Kramer at 6'11" comes right back into the game. And 6'6" Thomas Jacobs goes out. Mika's been a tough assignment for the Toreros so far tonight.
Like you said, Dennis Kramer coming in. He's our big man down low, averaging 7.3 rebounds per game. He's that big body they need down there to compete with Eric Mika.
San Diego has not won in Provo. They played the Cougars tough last year. Bill Gurr telling us that's where they developed some of their confidence that they could beat BYU, and then they turned around and beat them in San Diego and in Las Vegas. Halford again for three. And that's Johnny D on the run. Carlino with the steal. And a reach-in foul on Johnny D. And that's his first. And you can feel the crowd getting behind Carlino.
And the crowd, they've seen these last few performances by BYU, lacking energy. And finally, BYU comes out here. Matt Carlino provides that spark, is able to get the turnover and get it back in BYU's hands.
Eric Mika just left the floor, and he's going to the locker room. Nate Austin checks in, so we'll reassign Spencer to go find out what's ailing Eric Mika this time. Under 9 minutes to go here in the half. Cougars by 3. Carlino. Now it's Sharp. Haas all the way in. Tyler Haas with 9.
Tyler blows past 3 defenders and able to do a reverse layup. Beautiful play by Tyler. He just continues to impress. 9 points so far. We're halfway through this first half.
Bailey, this is D. San Diego down by 5. Nate Austin picks up a personal foul. That's his first. And here's Tyler looking for his 9th point.
Tyler weaving through that defense. We got to give credit to the players before that. They really moved the ball around well. They were able to get in Tyler's hands. The defense was slow in transitioning over.
Luke Worthington will check in. Nate Austin will come out. Austin with just 1 foul, but we're not sure what's wrong with Eric Mika as he has left the floor. And Dave Rose not wanting Austin to pick up that 2nd foul at this stage of the first half. So Worthington at 6'11" with the assignment to battle Kramer down low. And D right into the lane. And Johnny D now with 8. Keep an eye on Johnny D. 13's the magic number for him to crack into the top 10 all-time among Torero scorers. As Halford launches a 3. Halford with 8.
And this is that spark we talked about before the game that BYU needed, was some score to come off the bench. They gave Skylar Halford the nod this game to start. He's done just that. Knocked down 3 huge 3-pointers.
Anderson, who looks into Kramer. It's a good matchup for Kramer on Worthington. He dribbles out of it. Johnny D pushes off and picks up his 2nd foul. 4 substitutions coming in for the Toreros. And we got a timeout. 7:22 to go. BYU 25, San Diego 19. The Cougars are on a 10-2 run on BYU TV. Matt Carlino hands it over to Skylar Halford. Collinsworth's been very quiet. He knocks down his 4th point, and the lead is 8, the largest for BYU.
Kyle Collinsworth picking up where he left off. Los Angeles, he averaged 14.5 points per game in their last two losses, 10.5 rebounds per game and 5 assists per game. He was kind of the only bright spot for this BYU team down there in Los Angeles with their 2 losses, but he picks up where he left off, and he's a performer, and he's contributed quite well.
Anderson left open for 3. Halford on the rebound. We've got a whistle and a foul go against BYU. And it's Josh Sharp, and that's his first. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at the top 5 football plays of the season as selected by you, our BYU TV sports viewers. And first half stats and highlights brought to you by Bodyguards. That's all coming up at the half. 8-point BYU lead. Anderson's not had his offense tonight. He's the leading assist man on this team, one of the best in the league. There he is. Goes to Kramer, double team for Kramer, dribbles out of it. Shot clock's at 10. Sarbaugh hands it off. Good open look by Sanadze, couldn't finish. And a foul on BYU on the rebound. And that's on Josh Sharp. That's his 2nd. And it brings out some angst from the crowd.
Josh Sharp filling in for Eric Mika's absence because of injuries, and they're going to call with a hook there with his left arm.
And you can see the hook. I don't know how much contact, but there was a hook.
He definitely got him. Definitely got him. But picks up 2 quick fouls, and Eric Mika comes strolling back into the arena and then right back out. He's not feeling well, and BYU will have to continue to go to their bench with Luke Worthington and Nate Austin.
Nate Austin back in the game. Another whistle and foul. This will go against BYU. And it's against Luke Worthington, and that's his first. Things have gotten sloppy here in the last couple of minutes. And free throws now coming for Duda Sunadze, 75% free throw shooter. He is the X factor on this team. Off the bench for 18 points and 9 rebounds the other night at LMU.
And he has a very similar story to that of Matt Carlino's. He started their first 14 games for San Diego, and then all of a sudden the coach decided to bring him off the bench, and he's been a bright spot for them, scoring 18 points their last game.
They're going to back him off the free throw line, and it's Torero basketball. Spencer Linton, an update on Eric Mika.
Early diagnosis is a hip contusion, in other words, a hip bruise. His return is probable, but likely won't see him until after halftime.
Another foul on BYU. They can't get out of there into the floor. And this one is on Nate Austin, and that's his second, and it'll send Gito Koch to the free throw line.
Yeah, and if there's anybody you want to foul, it's Gito Koch, only shooting 55% from the free throw line. But you're right, BYU cannot get the ball and head down the other way. They've struggled here on the defensive end.
Tyler Haas will check back in. Missed by Koch. And Worthington will come out. So BYU with Carlino, Collinsworth, and Haas. Halford and Nate Austin. Kramer and Koch, Anderson, Sinadze, and Sarbaugh for San Diego. Collinsworth on the rebound and the run. Halford for 3. Off the front end, tapped out by Collinsworth. Haas backs out of a double team. Now it's Collinsworth into the lane. Good defense. Haas can't get a shot off. Up to Carlino. Free throw line. Carlino! Free throw line extended for Carlino's first 2. He slaps his hands. BYU their largest lead of 10. 29-19 with 5:31 to go here in the here, and then LMU will swap. Pepperdine will go to San Diego, and LMU will come here. BYU in a 14-2 run over the last 6 minutes. BYU and San Diego won't meet again until March. Anderson, good move to the basket. Never mind that he's 5'7". He has got a great drive to the hoop, picks up his first 2.
And his first 2, he's averaging 10.5 points a game. He's one of those playmakers where you have to be aware of him wherever he's on the court.
Eric
Just about
Mika.
6.5 assists per game.
Mika's back in the game and back into the bucket with 8 points now for the freshman center. He's had a tough half.
He's been beat up, is able to respond.
Sinadze, and that's Mika on the rebound. Carlino off of Koch. It should have been a kick, but the officials let him play on. Sinadze, offensive foul as Carlino won position. And that's the second foul on Duda Sinadze. I guess if you're not going to call the kick, then turnabout's fair play on the other end.
A little makeup call there, but you saw Matt Carlino. He got his feet set. He was there before the defender went into him and was able to draw the charge.
Double-digit lead for the Cougars. Looking to build. Halford's hit a couple of long bombs in this first half. Here's Haas. Leaves it for Mika. And Gito Koch comes over and swats it away. Second block for Koch. Out of bounds. It'll be BYU ball. Fajenison checks back in, and Koch will come out.
Tyler Haas draws so much attention to him that you see Eric Mika wide open there. But by the time Mika gets the ball and goes up for the shot, the defense converges and draws the out of bounds.
Jump ball. Haas showing a little frustration. Oh, BYU will win possession with the possession arrow and keep it with 4:02 to go here in the half. A lot of energy here in the arena. The lob for Mika. Eric regroups, draws contact. He's going to go to the line, and he hobbles there. Welcome to life down in the trenches in the WCC. Timeout on the floor. 3:59 to go. That's the first foul on Dennis Kramer. And BYU's first free throws coming up with Eric Mika and a 10-point. Here's your values. Proud sponsor of BYU Athletics. David, the Cougars were 4 for 21 shooting the three the last 2 games combined. 3 for 4 so far in the first half tonight.
Yeah, Skylar Halford coming in, going two for 4, and then of course Tyler Hodge hitting his lone shot from the range. 1 for 1, but you look at BYU, you knew they were going to eventually break out of this slump. They've struggled on the road here in conference play, but you go back to the earlier games this season. Against Texas, they shot 83%. Against Stanford, they shot 53%. So BYU fans knew it was in them. It was just when were they going to break out of that slump? And fortunately, so far this evening, BYU is shooting 60%.
Eric Mika at the free throw line. Free throw's good. He's working on that 58% from the stripe, now with 9 points. And knocking on the door of first half double figures. Dave Rose reiterating with us that free throws were a major focus in practice this week. It has been their nemesis so far this season. Largest lead now, a dozen for BYU on an 18-4 run. Anderson draws contact on Carlino, and he'll go to the line and shoot 2. Take another look as Matt Carlino picks up his first.
Yeah, Christopher Anderson's so quick. He's a small little guard, but he can run around the whole court, and he loves to penetrate and dish. So far, we haven't seen him connect with Johnny D much this evening, but he's one of those guys that is very quick, and he's able to do shot fakes. He's able to get inside and get to the rim and get in transition. So he's one of those guys that is difficult to guard because he is so small.
Everything goes through Anderson and D. And Bill Greer telling us today he wants them both to be aggressive with greater intelligence and to trust their teammates more. And that's hard to do. Haas, nice move on the baseline into a double team. We've seen that with quarterbacks, you know, and Taysom Hill at times this season would run because he trusted his legs perhaps more than his arm or his receivers downfield or his offensive line. And if you can get your teammates all involved, you can do a lot of great things.
And that's why he's leading the WCC in assists per game.
Halford, another 3. He's got 11.
And you see him out there with the grin on his face, shooting 3 of 5 from the arc. That's exactly what BYU needed to help them with that 3-point line.
15-point lead for the Cougars. Anderson, Kramer, now here's Johnny D. Matched up with Halford. Up over Collinsworth. Carlino on the board and on the run. Halford passes on the 3, leaves it for Mika. A little too low for the big guy, and he boots it out of bounds. Skylar Halford getting the start tonight, and you could say, his most legitimate role this whole season we've seen here in this first half as a starter and a contributor with double figures. We'll see where we go from here, but tonight it's working. Kramer up over Mika. Another rebound for Collinsworth, and then a reach-in foul. And that's going to go against Dennis Kramer. His second. A little frustration from the Toreros as their shots just aren't falling. Coming up at the half, as mentioned, the top 5 football plays of the season as voted by you, our True Blue and BYU TV Sports viewers. And stats and highlights from this first half, all brought to you by Bodyguards. That's coming up at half. Thomas Jacobs back in, and Kramer will sit down with those 2 fouls. Collinsworth on the night, 4 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. And he's at the line. This is the offering, and for Jemison on the rebound. Collinsworth, another one struggling at the stripe at 58%. It's got to get better.
Yeah, as a team, BYU shooting 67%, which is down from the last few years. But once again, it's one of those things you just, with confidence and with time and actual reps, he'll get better.
Anderson falling away, a tough shot to hit. Haas chases it down. Halford steps inside the arc. Knocks down at 2. He's got 13. Halford's 3 shy of his season high of 16, all in the first half. And Halford is not what Bill Greer was planning on seeing here in this first half. He calls timeout.
Not at all. Skylar Halford with the perfect shot fake. Takes a step in and is able to knock down a wide open shot. Has somebody coming right in his face, but he's got that confidence, he's got that swagger, and it's hard to stop when he's on a roll like this.
We'll hear from Dave Rose and get his assessment of this first half. He's been all fiery since the opening tip. And Halford is 5 for 7 from the field. Some balanced scoring for BYU. Mika with 10, Halford with 13. Haas has 9. And you move on down the list, and then Collinsworth is knocking on the door. So they're spreading it around, and they've extended their lead to 17 points. And we were tied up at 17.
Yeah, BYU's really pulled away. And it's been really, like you said, BYU distributing the ball and getting everyone involved. And then, of course, you got the play of Skylar Halford knocking down open shots.
Bailey. Nice shot over Mika. And Bailey gets his first 2.
Bailey, just a freshman. Impressive move there. He's able to draw the lane and put it up.
Offensive foul on Haas. He'll plead his case as the shifty Christopher Anderson got in there. That's the first foul on Haas. You be the judge at home. Well, it was a little push with the left hand, and Anderson smart enough to go down.
Yeah, a little flop there, I think, by Anderson, but you're right. Tyler extended his arm, and Anderson knew, hey, this is the time to fall down and grab the little foul.
Look, when you're 5'7", you play with the hand that you've been dealt. Anderson turns it away. Haas gets away with something, and he'll go to the line, and he'll shoot 2. Chris Sarbaugh picks up his personal foul. There was some kind of violation on that trip down the floor. I'm just not sure what it was. Let's take a look at it. There's that,
almost carried it.
There's this. I don't think you can do that. But Tyler's at the line.
The rest letting him play out here.
86% on the season. He's got the best free throw shooting percentage for his career than anybody in BYU basketball history. Misses the second. He's got 10 points. Back in double figures. And the Cougar lead is 39-23. Minute 27 to go here in this first half.
Impressive streak Tyler has. Now he has 10 points. 29 straight games where he scored double figures. And he's only a junior.
Anderson looks up at the shot clock. Drives with 10. Strong move to the basket by Jacobs, but can't finish. Now it's Carlino back to Haas. Out of bounds. Tyler wants a foul. BYU's going to keep possession, but there's no foul. Tyler will have to regroup here a little bit.
Yeah, he's really heating up. He felt this should have been a foul. And you see there, Chris Sarbaugh not really standing still. He's moving. That should have been a foul there, but they let him play.
Halford from the baseline. 15 for Skylar Halford. Well, the coaching staff continued to remind us, hey, look, this is a pure shooter. Guy lit it up at Salt Lake Community College. Struggled out of the gate. And tonight we are seeing him hit 6 of 8 from the field. This is the Halford that they signed and are happy to have.
He's been fun to watch tonight. Once again, 15 points in one half.
Anderson for 3. For Jemison with the rebound. Now the shot clock's off, and San Diego can settle for the final. Down by 18. BYU has blown this one open since we were tied at 17 all.
San Diego's got their most lethal weapon in Johnny D on the bench. It'll be interesting to see who they go to on this last shot. Chris Anderson looks to be the one to take it.
Anderson off the glass, out of bounds, and the Cougars will have it with 1.8. That's time to lob, grab, and shoot. Let's see what they come up with. Halford's going to throw the inbounds. Into Carlino, chucks it off the glass. That doesn't count as a three-pointer, right? There in that accounting of the first half. He's got his hands full here as we start the second half. Collinsworth, Mika, Austin, Halford and Haas for BYU. Kramer, D, Anderson. It is Sinadze starting here in the second half, along with Gito Koch. And there's Anderson strong on the offering, and a rebound from Tyler Haas. Right into Mika, and this is right how they started the game. Dish back out. Johnny D knocks it away, and Halford recovers. Here's Collins with huge advantage size-wise over Anderson, and Anderson picks up a personal foul. Let's take a look at the Les Olson Company game management strategy. Les Olson Company, your business empowered.
And this all comes down to crashing the boards. BYU obviously leads this advantage 25-10, but I guarantee you Bill Greer, in the locker room, made a point of emphasis for San Diego to get on the boards. BYU's got to be able to keep them off.
Tyler Haas's frustrating night continues, and the possession arrow will favor BYU as he goes down, and then it's a scrum from there, and Sinadze's not afraid to get after it. Jump ball called, so the possession arrow favors BYU. Halford, now a career high 17.
He's feeling it. If you're San Diego, you've got to get out there and put a hand in his face, otherwise he's going to continue to shoot lights out.
Kramer, Austin there defensively. Little flip, Mika swats it, and they'll call it goaltending. Basket will count for Eric Kramer, and he's got 7. Eric Mika going up.
Yeah, that was a close one. I think the right call.
Haas from the baseline. Kept alive by Austin. Halford gets it back to Nate. Now Schuyler swooping in, bit out of control. The Cougars regroup with Collinsworth.
Once again, big mismatch here with Kyle. See if they can't get him down low on Christopher Anderson and create something down low.
Talk about Carlino's offensive slump. Nate Austin is in one as well. Collinsworth, the basket will count. He'll go to the line. Chance at a three-point play. Anderson picks up his second. If you look at, we'll talk about Nate Austin here in a moment, as you see Collinsworth taking it strong to the bucket.
And once again, just a huge mismatch. You've got Kyle Collinsworth, who has about 6 or 7 inches on Christopher Anderson, just too strong and too big. He's able to muscle him down low.
Kyle 3 for 3 from the field. And 1 for 2 at the line, 7 points. Lead now to 21 for BYU.
San Diego desperately needs Johnny D to get involved in this game. He left the first half early because of foul trouble. They need to get him back on track.
Gito Koch, a close look. Another rebound for Austin. Halford at the other end. He is failing it, and he's all smiles. 19 points for Schuyler Halford.
And you got to give him props. He knew, look, this is my opportunity right here, and I've got to seize it. He's come out and done just that. It's be surprising to see if Coach Rose makes a change in the games to come.
Lost out of bounds by Sinadze, and BYU will have it. Nate Austin with 5 rebounds tonight. The last couple of games he's combined for 6 points and 10 fouls and just a handful of boards. Dave Rose told us this week they went over all of Austin's fouls on video, showed him what he did, what he should do, and he's come out here tonight and played much better and stayed out of foul trouble, as we see Halford and his 19 points. But all the Cougars are playing better tonight.
Yeah, Nate Austin really hurt his team the last 3 games by fouling out. BYU already pretty slim there at the depth, down low at the 4 and 5 position. But tonight he's been able to stay out of foul trouble and contribute on both ends of the floor.
Johnny D hardly figuring into the offense, sitting at 8 points. Second leading scorer in the WCC. Shot clock's at 5. Sinadze in some trouble. Koch backing in, and a fader over Mika. Shot clock violation. Frustrating possession for the Toreros.
Yeah, the other rating, Coach Rose, very excited about his defensive play there. Forcing the shot clock violation and gives BYU another opportunity to go down and extend this lead.
Brett Bailey back into the game for San Diego, and Gino Koch will come out. Halford deep in the corner. Nate Austin to Mika, and the foul. There's some of the fire that Dave Rose wanted to see from his interior guys tonight.
Great look by Nate Austin. The baseline finds it cutting Eric Mika and lands hard, but after you throw down a dunk like that, you got that adrenaline. It doesn't hurt that bad when you fall down.
Third foul on Kramer. You see the reaction from Mika, who goes to the free throw line, looking for his 13th point. 2 for 2 at the stripe already tonight. Now 3 for 3. And coming in, Eric at 58%. So you can see that he worked on it this week.
Yeah, he's going to have to hit that ice bath, though, after the game. He's hit the floor various times this evening, and he's going to be feeling tomorrow.
8-0 run. Mika blocks D. And it's Mika on the other end. Oh! And Eric hobbles back to the other end.
He got a little too excited here. He comes up limping with his ankle.
And just lost his footing right there. That left ankle. And turns the ball back over. Gasp in the crowd as they watch that unfold. And now it's Mika down low. And he'll go down again. This is the 5th time I think he's been down on his back here in this game. The foul will go against Austin, and that's his 3rd. And Mika is going to hobble out. Now he's 18 years old, but he looks like he's 68 heading to the bench. The crowd's going to help him there.
It's a tough possession for BYU. If Eric Mika goes down with injury, Nate Austin picks up his 3rd foul. So once again, BYU's big is getting in foul trouble. We'll see how this plays out.
The upside is, unlike the last couple of games, the Cougars are blowing out their opponent. Worthington's in, and Austin will come out with his 3rd foul.
San Diego looking for a spark. Brett Bailey gets fouled, and he goes to free throw line, only a 37% free throw shooter, so don't think they're going to get it here at the free throw line.
The student section is eager to take their shot at him. Gets it to go. 3 points now for Bailey. Carlino back into the game. Anderson loses his footing. Carlino from the baseline. Knocked out of bounds off of San Diego. Off of Sinadze. Cougars, David, they really came out fighting, and San Diego was not there to counterpunch. And they have not been in this game for a long time.
Once again, I think it goes down to their 2 leaders. Christopher Anderson and Johnny D just have been non-existent here at the end of the first half and now at the beginning of the second.
Haas goes to the line. Sinadze picks up his 3rd. And Tyler sitting on 10 points. Looking to build on that. Haas needs 22 more points to pass Joe Nelson into 15th all-time at BYU. He needs 40 more to move ahead of the legendary Krešimir Ćosić into 14th place. And with that free throw, he moves past Krešimir at number 12 all-time in free throws. I tell you what, when you're moving past Krešimir, things are going your way in your BYU career.
He's still got a whole another year underneath his belt. I think he'll continue to break records left and right here in his career at BYU.
Sinadze, in and out. And a foul on the rebound. And it's going to go against BYU. They've been calling that tonight, and it's Worthington with a hold, and that's his 2nd. Timeout on the floor. BYU, talk about no place like home. They're shooting 60% from the field compared to 29% for San Diego. Pepperdine and LMU in next week, live on BYU TV, as the Cougars will try to even the score with the Waves and the Lions. Tanazi for three. Just hasn't found his mark tonight. It's off of San Diego.
Well, I've been impressed, obviously, with Skylar Halford on the offensive end, but you go back on this defensive end, man-to-man, he's matched up with Johnny D, one of the best players in the West Coast Conference. He's completely shut him down there. Johnny has the ball various times that possession. He gave it up each time because Skylar was smothering him.
Collinsworth to Worthington, blocked by Anderson. That's 5'7", saying, get that weak stuff out of here, 6'11" guy, and he knocks it out of bounds. Nice effort by Christopher Anderson. His mom named him Christopher, wanted a good long name because he was so little when he was born. Baseline, Halford. 21 now for Halford.
I tell you, if you would have told me before the game that Skylar Halford would be the leading scorer for BYU tonight, I wouldn't have believed you. But you're right, 21 points for him, 12 for Tyler Haws. Skylar's showing the reason why he deserves to be in that starting lineup.
Simi Fajemison in for his first two. Good looking move for the senior out of Linwood, Washington. San Diego coming in to the night leading the league in scoring defense, field goal percentage defense, three-point field goal percentage defense, but none of those numbers have held up.
Something's going to have to give BYU fourth in the country in scoring at 87.3 points per game.
Sweet basket by Anderson, 4 points. Let's get a medical report on Eric Mika. Spencer?
Well, Dave, he's just banged up. I just talked to Kyle Chilton, the BYU Sports Information Director, and said nothing really happened on that dunk attempt. He just kind of spazzed out, and he's so sore that they're just going to give him the rest of the night off, most likely. BYU up 25. I think that's probably a wise decision by the BYU coaching staff.
Well, it's good that he didn't get hurt on that, and now we can razz him for the rest of his career.
I was about to say, if I were him, I'd fake an injury. I'd tell everybody I did sprain my ankle. That's the reason why.
Halford for three. 24 for Halford. That ball came down wet, way up so high.
You see a star emerging right in front of our eyes. BYU coaches knew he had it in him. That's why they recruited him and brought him here. But
Johnny D still sitting at 8 points. Cougars on the run. Haws off the glass. And the foul. Dave Rose. I haven't seen Dave Rose this energetic throughout a ball game in a long, long time. He is sending a message to his troops, and BYU's responded.
BYU just really rolling on all cylinders there. Tyler Haws goes up strong. And you saw there in transition. That's what BYU's really lacked in the last two games where they've lost the game. They were unable to get points in transition. They're finally able to get out and run and do what they do best.
Second foul on Sarba, 15 points now for Haws. And San Diego calls a timeout. Let's take a break. 13:31 to go. And BYU has doubled up the Toreros 61-30 on BYU TV. Careers, both are tied at number 5 with 38. There's a very good chance he's going to do that here tonight. But Jemison battling with Collinsworth. A reach-in foul on Collinsworth. And that's the first for Kyle. We talk about BYU shooting much better. Maybe the staggering number of difference really at the free throw line, 80%, 8 of 10. And boy, if they can shore up that area, their fortunes will change here in the WCC. Good move to the hoop by Bailey. Josh Sharp. Sharp's come off the bench, giving Dave Rose a lot of good minutes. Halford for 3. Crowd expecting everything to go down for Skylar. Now 10 of 14 from the field. Johnny D hasn't scored in a long, long time. Still sitting on 8 points. Kramer with a short miss. Battle out of bounds. It'll be San Diego ball.
Johnny D cannot find the rhythm tonight. 2 for 8 from the field, only 8 points. We're talking about a guy that's averaging 27 points here in conference, obviously well under his average.
He lit BYU up in Las Vegas and in San Diego in the 2 recent wins over the Cougars, but not tonight. Foul on BYU. Josh Sharp picks up his 3rd. Sharp's got a Band-aid on his forehead. There's been some good battles going down. Sneaky inbounds play, and tipped up there is Sarba off his own miss. Good looking play. 4 points now for Sarba. Collinsworth blocked out of bounds by Kramer.
So go back to his inbounds play. What you can't see here in this frame is the fact that Skylar Halford is at half court, just kind of walking around lackadaisically, and then of course you see there Chris Sarba with the ball out the back. That's what you do at the backyard with your brothers. Throw it out their feet, throw it out their back, their head, whatever it may be to get it in bounds.
Haas and D. Here's the two top scorers in the league matched up against each other. Collinsworth to Halford for three. Wants some contact. Didn't get any contact and turns it over with the air ball.
Back-to-back misses by Skylar. Fatigue might be set in. He's not used to these long minutes that he's getting tonight. But he needs to get well conditioned because I think he's earned himself a starting spot in the starting five.
Johnny D. This is to Jemison. Austin had it, lost it. And a fresh shot clock for the Toreros.
A little confusion here on the opposite side of possession. Chris Sarba looking for somebody else to come take the ball from him.
Bailey now with it. Jemison again. Open look for Sarba. San Diego really battling the boards, but the Cougars come out with it. Bodies all over the floor for Jemison, stays down. Halford to Collinsworth. Knocked out of bounds. And we've got a timeout. It'll be BYU ball for Jemison being attended to. And we'll take a break at the Marriott Center. 11:14 to go. BYU in command here on BYU TV.
And you're right. San Diego just has not been able to find the basket. They've struggled all night shooting from the field.
Nate Austin. Not an offensive night for Austin. He's been active on the boards. This is Worthington's spin move. Nearly lost out of bounds by Bailey. Here come the Toreros. Josh Sharp ready to check back in for BYU. Swooping to the lane is Thomas Jacobs. He'll go to the free throw line and shoot two. Fourth foul on Luke Worthington. And Jacobs, a 68% free throw shooter, will head to the line and shoot two. Mass substitutions ready for San Diego.
Luke Worthington getting some big beatings in for BYU, especially with Nika going down. Sharp also subbing in. BYU having to go deep on that bench to help out with both foul trouble and injuries.
Nick Kerr into the game for San Diego for the first time tonight. Jacobs gets them both to go. Halford. Collinsworth for three. Collinsworth in double figures with 10. And he hasn't missed from the field. Hasn't shot a whole lot, 4 for 4.
Yeah, Kyle, a 41% three-point shooter. Down a little bit on the season, started out a little hot earlier, but he's able to nail that big three-pointer there.
Midway point of the second half. Sanadze. Halford comes up with the hustle play. Hawes will go to the line, and he'll shoot two. What a play by Skylar Halford.
You see the coaching staff very happy with this hustle and effort there. That's what they've been lacking these last few games. You see it finally paying off in this game. He's able to get the ball to Tyler, and Tyler draws the foul, and almost an automatic 2 when he steps to the free throw line.
Kerr picks up his first. Haas is 4 of 5 from the free throw line tonight. 15 points. How about this hustle play?
Over the head, no look.
Haas makes them both, and he'll come out. Anson Winder comes in. Cougar leads back to 30. Haas with 17. Now it's Kerr. Chris Anderson partially blocked by Sharp. And then last touch by the Toreros will be BYU ball.
Yeah, frustrating night for Chris Anderson, shooting 2 for 10, just 20% from the field. He's only got 4 points, and once again, he's the leader of the San Diego team. And when your leader only has 4 points and Johnny D only has 8, it's going to be a long night.
Halford looking inside to Sharp. Josh will go to the line to shoot 2. And it is Sinadze picking up his 4th. Be nice to see Carlino come back in and get some more minutes. As Bill Greer looks on, he just wants to get out of here. This will be a different game in March when these two teams resume their battle in San Diego. And the Cougars, as mentioned, haven't been at home since December, early December, almost a month. And they're a much better team, as are all these teams in the league, on their home floor.
Well, you mentioned Matt Carlino. He has the only 2 points off the bench for BYU. I think Josh Sharp just hit down and hit a free throw, so had another point, but goes to show you BYU starters doing it all here tonight here in the Marriott Center.
Well, the bench guys can improve that number here in the next 9 minutes. Mika's night appears to be over. Not sure if we'll see Tyler again. They'll have to wait till next Thursday to beat Chosic. Johnny D. Halford might have got away with some contact on that shot. The air ball turns the ball back over to BYU. So we may see Haas move past Chosic in those career 20-point games next Thursday, live on BYU TV. Pepperdine and LMU coming in. Collinsworth with a good-looking move to Austin. First basket of the night for Nate Austin. Anderson quickly down the floor, fouled from behind. And the foul will go against Collinsworth. Let's take another look at Nate Austin.
You can see here, Kyle Collinsworth gets the ball. He just simply drives the basket and finds a cutting Nate Austin. And it's nice to see Nate get back up on the boards. Talking to Coach Greer before the game, he was baffled at the progress that Nate Austin had made. He thought Nate would have more of a integral part of his team this year. But he said so far he thought that he's really not played up to his potential. And I think BYU fans can agree with that Nate's still got some improvement, some room to go, but nice to see him get an easy 2 points there.
He's played better tonight, coming in those last 3 games. 10 points, 22 rebounds, 15 fouls. Tonight he's still in there with Mika out and making a difference on the glass and getting those first 2. At some point they're going to need more offense out of that 4 spot. And they look to Nate to get it together. Halford again. 26 for Halford. Kerr to answer back. Followed up and off the glass is Thomas Jacobs. And Jacobs now with 4. Could this be a 30-point night for Skylar Halford?
I think he's still got that green light. He's going to keep shooting if he gets a chance.
Winder for 3. It goes down. All the shots falling tonight for BYU. Winder's first basket.
BYU struggled, as we talked about various times, from the 3-point range, but tonight they're once again hit on all cylinders and shooting well from both beyond the arc and down low.
Bouncer goes in for Chris Sarbaugh from North Idaho College. Led his team to a 26-5 record last year and making contributions at this level in his first season with the Toreros. Winder another 3. Down it goes. Timeout, San Diego. And a crowd rewarding. It's an early rematch. You usually get beat by someone, you get to play them the next week. But that's how it is.
Yeah, that's how the schedule's unfolded, and I know BYU will be excited to get them back here in their place and get that revenge game, a game that they felt like they should have won, but just played poorly. They couldn't shoot the ball well, and unfortunately came out of there with a loss.
Waves suffered their first loss of league play today. They're 3-1. They've had a great start. Halford going all the way in. He'll go to the line, and he'll shoot two. A foul on Gito Cope. That's his second. It takes us to another timeout. 6:50 to go here on this Saturday night. It's all Cougars on BYU.
That's right. The first time we talked to Skyler, they played North Texas the next day, and I believe he had 15 points. We asked him about it. He was the game changer, and he said, hey, if that's what it takes, let's do it every time. We talked to him again on Friday, and now he's going off for a career high. So clearly we're taking all of the credit for Skyler Halford's awesomeness today.
Yeah, book him for Wednesday, because we'll need to see him out here on Thursday. Then book him for Friday for Saturday's game, and let's just see what happens. Kerr goes out as Halford with 27 points, just building on his career night. Knocks them both down. Carlino's going to come in. Listen to this ovation for Skyler Halford. You dream of moments like this for Halford, and his dream has come true tonight. And we'll visit with him after the game.
Student section now chanting Skyler Halford. Once again, you have to be so happy for him, and he's been the sixth man, seventh man off the bench, and now he got the opportunity to start and came out here and took advantage of it. And all credit goes to him and his preparation and really being able to perform well this evening.
Winder an air ball, but Collinsworth there to clean it up. Now Collinsworth and Kramer battling. Winder dives for it. It's off of Anson. It'll be San Diego ball. Spencer?
Skyler Halford just sat down on the bench and turned around and said, hey, it's real, in reference to the BYU Sports Nation karma.
All right, let's take that. I'm sure whatever it works for Dave Rose, let's just do it. It's such a frustrating four-game slide for the Cougars. Good looking move for Kramer off the glass. 9 now for Dennis Kramer.
Kramer started out the game, was really the lone scorer for San Diego. Kind of got quiet since, but was able to knock in an easy two down low.
Collinsworth looking for a lane to the basket. Here's Carlino for three. Followed up by Collinsworth for two. A dozen now for Collinsworth. Well, you're right. Anderson and D have just been invisible tonight. Gito Cope. Foul by Collinsworth, not wanting to give up the uncontested dunk. And that's going to send Cope to the line. Now, when you're a 55% free throw shooter, you'll foul him every time as opposed to letting him dunk for two.
Not a bad foul by Kyle there. You'll take your odds on this one.
Coke is 0 for 2 at the stripe tonight. Bartley checks in, and Collinsworth will check out. Good night for Collinsworth. 8 assists, 12 points, and 7 rebounds. A little bit of everything for Kyle Collinsworth. And more importantly, at the point guard spot, he got the hot hands to basketball, and that being tonight, Skyler Halford.
Yeah, he's really kind of taking on that new role as the #1 point guard in this offense, and he's done well. He's been able to produce and, like you said, distribute the ball very well to his teammates.
Carlino loses his footing, but a foul is called against San Diego. And it'll be Anderson, and that'll be his third. Talk about a quiet night. Anderson just 4 assists and 6 points. He comes in averaging 10 and has 103 assists on the year to lead the team, but had a dozen assists against LMU. It's just been a completely different game for the Toreros tonight.
Yeah, it's been very frustrating for him. BYU's, you have to give credit to BYU's defense. They've really smothered him throughout the game. They've continued to put different defenders on him to frustrate him. Got Kyle Collins with his height. He hasn't been able to get open and get on a streak.
Sarbaugh hands it over to Sinadza. Right hand. Austin, another rebound. Nate with 6. Carlino throws it away. Thought Sharp was trailing him. And we'll go the other way. Matt Carlino, a work in progress, as try to restore his confidence. You look back to the first couple of weeks of the season, he's scoring 28, 26, 28. On the road, at home, it didn't matter. And since that Utah game, things have significantly cooled off with his shooting, his passing, and his confidence.
Yeah, and he talked this week that no doubt his confidence has been shaken a little bit. They tried to move him to the 2 spot to kind of mix it up a little bit, and he's still trying to work out that slump. And you see here, the ball right to Anson Winder's face. That can't feel very good. But going back to Matt Carlino, he's a great athlete. He's a great competitor, and I see him working his way out of the slump. It's just going to take time. And
they need it.
And they need him, you're right. And I know it's frustrating for BYU fans. It's frustrating for him. But, you know, a very similar thing happened last year. He started off hot, kind of cooled down once conference play started, but finished the season strong. So I expect the same thing to happen this season.
Winder missing now in his last 2 3-point attempts. Sarbaugh with 8 points. Kramer is the high point man with 9 for San Diego.
Matt Carlino kind of run the show here. He mentioned this week in an interview that he feels much more comfortable at the 1 position, bringing the ball up and kind of distributing the ball. Feels a little awkward there at the 2 spot, but once again, he's going to have to be very versatile and fill in different roles.
Bill Greer's take on the Collinsworth and Carlino scenarios. He said, well, when Carlino's in there, it seems like they're always trying to push. Here's Bartley for Winder, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. For Collinsworth, it's more of a half court, and for Carlino.
Yeah, and Skylar Halford talked about it this week on BYU Sports Nation. Said, look, Marion Center is somewhere we practice every single day. We're familiar with that court. We know what spots of the floor we like to hit shots from. They were excited to get here at home, and it showed here with the score. And they'll have to be here at home for the next few games and hopefully ride this wave and this momentum and continue throughout WCC play.
And the Waves will be in here on Thursday night, 9 Eastern on BYU TV. For Jemison, strong to the basket and throws it down. 4 points now for the 6'10" junior. Bartley, another player whose confidence and minutes have dwindled in recent weeks, and he too trying to kind of re-find himself out there.
Yeah, once again, you go back to those bench points. The BYU bench only scoring now with the addition of Anson Winder the last few possessions. They're now up to 9 points, but they're going to need Bartley to be able to come through along with Matt Carlino now coming off the bench and Anson Winder. So these minutes are crucial for the development of these young players.
Carlino for 3. Worthington fighting for the rebound, knocked out of bounds off of Bailey. BYU will keep possession with 2:40 to go. Eager to hear from Skylar Halford here post-game show on his big night. Not only making his first start, but a career night on offense with 28 points. Fouls on San Diego. That's Chris Sarbaugh, and that's his 4th, and I'll send Carlino back to the free throw line. Matt's 1 for 5 from the field, 0 for 2 from the line. That's that one to go down. 71% on the season from the stripe. Still BYU's leader in steals. And averaging 15. As few points as he's scored lately, his average still at 15. Shows you what kind of start he had this season.
He was hot earlier this season, and he'll continue to heat up as this WCC plays go. But once again, he's struggled throughout the last few games.
Foul before the shot. That's going to go against Anson Winder. And it'll send Chris Sarbaugh to the free throw line to shoot 1 and 1. Second foul on Winder.
Chris Sarbaugh, you mentioned, he's a member of the North Idaho College team. Averaged 7.6 points per game. Only shooting 60% from the free throw line. And that 1-on-1 misses.
Bartley into Worthington, gets it back. Drives baseline. Bartley from the corner for 3 and an air ball. Bartley with the block, but the foul's going to go against Worthington. That's going to send Bailey to the line, and Worthington's fouled out.
Bartley has an air ball on the other end of the floor and hustles down and gets a good block, but before that you're going to get a blocking call on Worthington, and he fouls out of this game. Crucial minutes that he played with Eric Mika's absence, but he's got that football mentality still in him. He played football in high school, recruited to play football here at BYU and Wisconsin. He was a highly talented recruit, but decided to come to BYU and play basketball. And hey, I'm all about it. If you're going to be that big, you got to foul out. It's part of your game.
Can't take him home with you, right? Free throw missed by Bailey. Johnston checks in now for BYU. As Dave Rose gone to the end of the bench. Leading by 34 here in the final minutes. This game was once tied at 17, and then BYU took it from there. 6 points now for Bailey.
And we talked before the game, this is a huge game for both teams, both 0-2 here in conference play. One of those swing games where you win this game and you're still in the hunt, obviously. Gonzaga's playing great ball now, but you still got a great opportunity to go out there and still win the WCC with 2 losses. But you lose this one and your confidence really shaking at 0-3, and it'll be interesting to see how San Diego can rebound from here on out. But this is a tough loss to come in here to BYU and be down 30 plus and try to walk out of here and not too many pluses you can take away from the game. But I think they'll rebound. They've got the players to do it. They've got a great coach, and they've got a favorable schedule towards the end of the season, but it's all about surviving the current schedule they have now.
Sarbaugh with 10. A career high for the sophomore. So BYU with Pepperdine Thursday. San Diego goes home, plays Loyola Marymount. And then they switch opponents. Max Good and the Lions will be here next Saturday night. And the Waves will go over to San Diego.
Yeah, and the road doesn't get easier for BYU, that's for sure. Talking to some of the coaching staff this week, they felt that was one of the reasons that they really struggled here at the beginning of the season here in WCC play, was the fact that when you get in conference play, it's a whole different beast. And these young guys are not used to, don't have the experience to go into these hostile environments on the road and play these tough WCC opponents. And you always remember that everyone's always gunning for BYU. BYU's kind of top dog that's new to the conference. Everyone thinks they can go out there and beat them. And you look at Gonzaga. Gonzaga's been in the conference for years, and they've kind of beat up on teams. But BYU's kind of newcomer still. The teams want to go out there and take a shot at it. And BYU's going to get their best game week in, week out from their opponent. It's all about how can BYU respond. And tonight, they will come out here and show some hustle and show some energy, and that's exactly what Coach Rose wanted from him. I think we go back and look at the film, he'll be pleased with his team's effort in the way that they performed this evening.
87 points on the board. 87 to 53 will be the final score on a night where Halford scored 28, Haas scored 17, Mika had 13 and 13 different bruises. Collinsworth had 12. And Dave Rose and Bill Greer will see each other in early March in San Diego. And then, of course, Las Vegas and the